ChatGPT. Relate ACM to the movie Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet through the lens of A Course in Miracles, ACM. Romeo and Juliet is one of the world's most famous stories about love, conflict, identity, family loyalty, sacrifice, and loss. Through the lens of A Course in Miracles, it becomes a powerful exploration of the conflict between love and the ego's belief in separation. At its heart, the movie asks, why does love seem to suffer in a world of division? ACIM answers, love does not suffer, only the belief in separation suffers. The illusion of separate interests. The feud between the families is built upon a belief that one side's gain is the other's loss. The ego thrives on this perception. Us versus them, friend versus enemy. ACIM teaches that conflict arises from the belief in separate interests. The movie beautifully exposes the tragic consequences of this belief. Love beyond labels. Romeo and Juliet see beyond the labels that define their world. Family names, social identities, inherited grievances. ACM teaches that Christ's vision overlooks the labels of the world and sees only the truth. The movie beautifully reflects this impulse toward unity, the special relationship. At first glance, the story appears to be a great love story. Yet ACIM distinguishes between special love and holy love. Special love often contains attachment, need, possession, fear of loss. The movie beautifully illustrates both the beauty and fragility of love when it becomes entangled with the ego. The cost of grievances. The feud continues because grievances are handed down from generation to generation. No one remembers how it began, yet everyone suffers from it. ACM teaches that grievances perpetuate the illusion of separation. The movie powerfully demonstrates this lesson. Identity and the ego. The characters are deeply identified with family, status, and social roles. ACM teaches that all identities based on form are temporary self-concepts. The movie beautifully reveals how these identities can obscure love. Fear and misperception. Much of the tragedy unfolds because of misunderstanding, assumptions, misperceptions, incomplete information. ACM teaches that perception is inherently unreliable when guided by fear. The movie beautifully illustrates this dynamic. Love's call for union. Beneath the story lies a longing for union, a desire to overcome division. ACM teaches that this longing reflects the mind's remembrance of its unity with God and with all creation. The movie beautifully reflects this deeper yearning. Death and the ego. The story culminates in apparent loss and death. ACM teaches that death is the ego's ultimate symbol of separation. Yet even here, the tragedy becomes a catalyst for reconciliation. The movie hints that love can accomplish what conflict never could. Forgiveness ends the conflict. The families finally begin laying down their grievances when confronted with the consequences of their hatred. ACIM teaches that forgiveness is the end of conflict because it withdraws belief from separation. The movie beautifully points toward this correction. The central reflection. The ego watches Romeo and Juliet and asks, who is on my side? Who is against me? How do I protect what I love? The Holy Spirit watches Romeo and Juliet and asks, what if there are no separate interests? Viewed through ACIM, the movie becomes a profound lesson about love, conflict, and the cost of separation. The feuding families symbolize the divided mind, while Romeo and Juliet symbolize the longing to remember unity. The deepest message may be, the ego builds walls through grievance, identity, and fear. Love quietly calls beyond those walls. Conflict continues as long as separation is valued, but peace dawns when forgiveness becomes more important than being right. The tragedy of the story is not that love failed. It is that the belief in separation was valued for too long. Love was always the answer. Go to mwge.org to find mystical quotes and a brief write-up by David Hoffmeister.